There's plenty of fallout for Snoop Dogg after performing at Donald Trump's inauguration.
We agree to disagree a lot, and it ain't always on the same page. Get your life right. Stop worrying about who wants to run for president and move on into the White House. Why not? It wouldn't be the first time you pushed a black family out of their home.
There's plenty of fallout for Snoop Dogg after performing at Donald Trump's inauguration. We agree to disagree a lot, and it ain't always on the same page. Get your life right. Stop worrying about mine. Donald say he wants to run for president and move on into the White House. Why not? It wouldn't be the first time you push the black family out of their home. Music. Snoop Dogg is fired up and making sure everyone knows how he feels with his signature West Coast swagger and unmatched intensity. He's reminding the world why he's still the king of the rap game. This is Snoop Dogg not just barking but biting. His explosive reaction has only raised more eyebrows, leaving people wondering who are these rappers who are doing Snoop real dirty, and more importantly, is he even clean in this situation? Because from the way things are looking, Snoop may just have gotten a dose of his own medicine. So Snoop sat down with Larry Jackson. For years he clowned anyone who even looked in Trump's direction, but now he is on the hot seat since stepping into Trump's inner cycle, and the same voices that once cheered him on are making sure he doesn't just walk away from this one, with voices such as DL Hooey and Anna Navarro going straight for the jugular, and Elon Musk making sure the internet don't miss the irony. One can't help but ask, what's up with Snoop and why is he so charged up a cooperation? It begins with the leadership in this body, so thank you for that, Mr. President. You make our jobs a lot easier. You made an important point. Snoop's been having some long nights, and it's starting to show. He's not just mad, he is hurt, and he isn't wrong when he feels like people are coming for him. So he hopped on Instagram reminding everyone that no matter what's being said, he's black, still black, always been black. Yeah, get your life right. Stop worrying about mine. I'm cold. I'm together, still a black man, still 100% black. But let's be real, that wasn't what people were mad about, and if he thought that would shut the critics up, it did the exact opposite as he received even more backlash. Now it is hard to ignore how coordinated these takedowns feel. The internet has turned into its own enforcement unit, mobilizing fan movements into full-scale criticism campaigns, and right now Snoop is the one in the hot seat. The fallout has been immediate, him losing nearly 600,000 Instagram followers overnight. The rapper speaking out on Instagram after reportedly losing over 500,000 followers on the platform, a move triggered by angry fans who aren't cool with Snoop's performing for 47. But losing followers is only one part of the story. It is the shift in the industry's tone that really stands out. The same media personalities, fellow artists and cultural voices that once praised Snoop for speaking his mind are now the loudest voices calling him out. But if that's not enough, Trump's presence and entertainment has turned the whole industry into a battlefield where it's hard to know where your alignments will lead to. And finally, Donald Trump's presidential win has sparked an exodus of American celebrities, many of whom are now seeking refuge abroad. Just look at Cardi B. She's always been loud, always been opinionated, but after Trump's re-election she literally snapped, saying, "I hate everyone that voted for Donald Trump," and just like that her own fan base turned on her. They called her out for being too emotional, for pushing too hard, for being out of touch, and instead of backing off she doubled down. She nearly got into a full-on war with part of her own supporters after calling them toxic and saying she's sick of dealing with them. So listen, I'm going let y'all know this right now, okay? So you little trumpets, like why one, I know you're happy, whatever the __. Ain't nobody acting like bitter losers, however y'all need to leave me the alone. And then there's Ellen DeGeneres. She saw what was coming and didn't even bother fighting. She had said before that she'd leave if Trump got re-elected, and she actually did it. She packed up, sold her estate, and bounced to the UK with Portia. No statements, no debates, just dipped. Latest one to join the list is former TV show host Ellen DeGeneres, who along with her partner Portia de Roy has swapped the stars and stripes for the Union Jack. Even Saturday Night Live, a show that built entire seasons around clowning Trump, had to switch things up after years of roasting him. They suddenly switched to sarcasm, acting like maybe they were too hard on him. One skip even at cast members half-jokingly apologizing for dismissing Trump too early, almost like they knew they played a role in how this all turned out. If SNL is backpedaling, you know something's changed. So now Snoop finds himself caught up in the same mess. Plenty of artists have been forced to play the game, but somehow Snoop's the one getting dragged the hardest. So what's really going on here? Is this about holding him accountable, or is he just another name on the list of people getting punished for stepping out of line? Snoop's been catching heat with his performance, but he shouldn't be surprised at all. Elon Musk made sure to spot the irony by pulling up receipts, posting a side-by-side clip of Snoop's old anti-Trump rants next to footage of him performing at Trump's crypto ball. And just to make sure the internet paid attention, Musk capped her mend The vibe shift is real now. It's hard not to translate that as Snoop. You just played yourself and the timing couldn't have been worse. This wasn't just about Snoop performing, it was about the fact that he went from being one of Trump's loudest critics to willingly cashing in at an event linked to the same guy he once called a racist, and Musk wasn't the only one calling him out. His tweet sparked a full-blown internet storm. What have you done to show that he hates black people? Let's look at. Before he ran for president, the first time all you seen them with was __, rappers and entertainers. All you seen him in every rap song, __. Love Trunk Baller Alert and the Shade Room weren't about to let Snoop off easy either. They resurfaced some of his old takes, including that infamous Instagram rant where he called out artists for even thinking about performing for Trump. He once straight up said that any artist rocking with Trump was a sellout. Now the internet police went into full overtime mode. Twitter users flooded the timeline with reminders of Snoop's past statements, and Instagram comments were full of variations of Snoop. You played yourself. Some even said Michelle Obama was more solid than these rappers because she refused to engage with Trump. And get this, some people even brought up Snoop's history of disloyalty in other areas, saying this was just another example of him flipping sides when it was convenient. His rocky relationship with Suge Knight, his shaky support for Kendrick Lamar during the Drake feud, it all started adding up in people's minds. I'm one to accept truth when it's brought to me directly. What it happened was I did a collaborative post with someone. When I do it, I don't listen to the music, then I get the word nephew didn't like what you did. What did I do? So while Musk just threw in a laughing emoji, the internet took that and ran with it, and now Snoop was in a position he never thought he'd be, getting roasted by the same culture he once led. But the criticism didn't stop there. If you thought Elon was the only big name calling him out, just wait until you hear what DL Hewley and Anna Navarro had to say. Now DL Hewley seems to have taken the frontline role in checking Snoop over this whole mess. Can't forget Hewley was one of the first to drag Kanye when he started aligning with Trump, and now he was just as quick to respond to Snoop. He made it clear Snoop's biggest issue isn't even the backlash, it's the fact that he won't own up to it. According to Huey, this ain't even about politics anymore, it's about loyalty and consistency. If Snoop had kept quiet all these years, maybe people would let it slide, but after all that trash talk, now that we always stick together, we're good at tearing each other apart, which is pretty constant. It's pretty consistent. When somebody gets into trouble, it takes backlash from the community. Is always a communal thing, and Hewley didn't just throw words around, he hit him where it hurt. He said Snoop needs to take a long hard look at the man in the mirror. How do you go from being one of the loudest voices against Trump, calling out rappers who performed for him, to collecting a check at a Trump-affiliated event? Huey wasn't even mad, he just found it disappointing. To a situation like that, you tell us we can't stick together. We've shown you we have, we shown you we did. We voted in more specific numbers than any other demographic in the nation. We did stick together, and Hewley wasn't alone. Anna Navarro also had something to say on The View, and she didn't hold back. She went straight for the jugular, saying Snoop has officially lost all credibility. She dragged him for flip-flopping when the money was right, calling it embarrassing for someone who spent years branding himself as too real for politics. January 7, 2021. But you were there now, applauding him like a trained seal. Donald Trump has not changed, you've changed. Well, Navarro also pointed out something else. This ain't the first time the industry has seen this type of switch up. She reminded the audience that other artists got cancelled for doing the same thing Snoop just did, and just like that, the backlash got even louder. At this point, it wasn't just Twitter calling him out, he was getting flamed on national TV. Snoop wasn't the only one catching strays, because while he was out here trying to defend himself, other artists who performed at Trump events started feeling the heat too. Let's be real, we knew this was coming. Rick Ross, Nelly and Jewel weren't walking away from this unscathed. The moment Snoop took the heat, it was only a matter of time before the rest got pulled, and there are a lot